And then okay, so say that I wanted to texture, maybe you may be wanting to texture hair, accessories, or anything like that. You go to the tabs up here. There's this button is for materials. So say like, yeah, say I'm wanting to find something that's like, I mean, you can just like free explore, of course. Want to something like moss. Uh, showing up. Yeah, so basically it brings up all of the textures, like uploaded by other creators. And it's just a really great way to look at other people's material setup. Obviously, like I mean, I didn't really go into the material node that much. I can go into it a little bit more today, but yeah, like, ugh, why is it doing this? Okay, no, I have an error. Why do I have an error? Mm, Fun. I don't know why it's giving me that error. Um, oh, it's because I was in mode for this. Hmm. Okay. Don't know why. Let's see. Oh, it was just doing that for that texture for some reason. Don't have time to troubleshoot right now, but yeah, so like you can just apply the textures this way and then and then you can see how, well, I guess this one is it's like a baked in texture already. Let's see. But there are like other procedural ones. So like procedural textures are ones that they don't have textures already baked in, and so you can change the parameters. Try to find another one that's maybe procedural. Let's try not this one. Maybe if it's not. Oh, this one's procedural. Okay. Yeah, so basically we look at the node trees. Like there are no baked in images. So all of these parameters you can change. And it's just like is very good for learning when it comes to if you're like really interested in texturing. So this one has, if you like look at the basic setup, this one has like it's like a mix shader. So a mix shader basically brings in um different materials and it mixes it yeah by the factor. So the factor controls the way the materials come together. So if you look at the, I can't see it right now, but yeah, see how it mixes like oh, by the way, control shift left click is how you look at basically it allows it's like a shortcut that allows you to preview each shader. Um, so you can see this one is like a green, darker green shader. And it has the bumps that go into the normal let's see, its texture, yeah. And this other shader that it is mixed with seems to be like a lighter one. It's like a lighter, more like neon green texture. So yeah. And basically the mix shader just brings them, combines them, and yeah. So like I'm just saying this is like the looking at other people's material setup is like a great place of learning. And then you can proceed by like just looking at the structure of how things are set up. And then you can Google them and like find additional resources. So yeah, let's see. And then oh yeah, something else I was gonna say like for because we're doing characters, right? Like maybe we're wanting to bring in eyes. And you can also use Blender Kit to find like, so here's you can find models. So you can just literally type in like eye. And then there's a bunch of like free assets. And these look like they're all procedural. Yeah. So say, I don't know, I like this eye. Downloaded it. It's very small, so I'm gonna bring that up. Let's hide the other eye. This one. This. You scale it up. That. Maybe. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, and then just we're not gonna go into rendering yet, but because we're looking at textures, just gonna talk real quick about the render. What is this? The render engine. So Blender has two. There's one called Eevee. Right now, it's like is rendering by Eevee. Um, and Eevee is usually it's faster, but it's not as detailed. So typically, I like to use cycles. Cycles just take longer. And to see in cycles, you have to go into here. So this is like the oops. Looks like I have to adjust the settings in the so I have to adjust the settings in the body texture because right now it's really wacky. But anyways, I think for our purposes I think we can use Eevee for now. It's faster. So yeah, basically like with this eye model and just like it's like you can just use someone else's model. If you're not planning on doing anything super crazy with the eye, then this is totally fine. And then I'm just gonna look at the shading right real quick. So this one looks like it has, yeah, so it looks like it has a baked in texture. So basically using a mask. This one. This one is like all the blood vessels. Vessels. Yeah. And then it has so like in texturing, there's also like hierarchies that you can give. So like the iris, so basically like the eye now has like two materials applied to it. And like the iris part is let's see. To the it's not showing it. Get out of it. Right now. Trying to undo it. Mix shader, this mix shader. Okay. All right, I just needed to get back to the original look. So yeah, okay. So this is, I guess, the baked in image for the iris. But yeah, so like just Blender Kit is really useful for exploring materials. I mean, you can also just go online and like search for materials that way too. But this is really great because you can just do it inside of Blender. Okay, so just I'm gonna go into talking about rigging. Go back to regular material mode. Okay, so just before we do that, you want to make sure that you are in the kind of like right viewport orientation right now. So I guess it's like X minus Y, Z. Yeah, and everything else, just like make sure to apply the all transforms. Usually that it's like a helpful way to okay. So first, we just go to preferences to again enable Rigify. Yeah, so mine is already enabled. And then very straightforward. So like Shift A, like you would like when you're adding a mesh. And then just go to armature. So there's two options. You can do the human meta rig. This one is more complicated because it includes, hold on, let me just hide this one. Yeah, because it includes the like all the facial bones. If you're like really ambitious, you could do that. But I suggest for now we don't do the face. Um, so if you just go to the basic, it's the basic human meta rig. Yeah, so now it's like it's the skeleton. It's the skeleton that you would pose and bind to the base mesh in order to pose and then eventually animate it. That's what you want. I like to go to the data properties for the rig and then just go down. Viewport display and click on in front. Just make it easier to see. Okay, so looks like scale wise, maybe scale it up a little bit. Okay. This part is just eyeballing and then hit Control A to apply all transforms. Okay, so now just hit Tab. So it's like to get into edit mode like you would on editing a mesh. And so yeah, now we can just basically according to where your mesh is, you would just position the joints, and then you can do symmetry to just save yourself time. I think just select all of this. So you want to work on the arm, just hit R to rotate it. It's about, and then G to bring it up. Yeah, so I guess this one is it's for the shoulder, so it would be just in the middle of the arm. And then it's for the elbow, just put it in the middle. This is for the hand. So we're not doing anything super detailed, so just rough is buff and ready we're looking for. So we're just gonna focus on the frontal orientation first. This is like the breastbone. Put it down here. And then the legs, just position it here. And just move all of this. Again, I'm just shift selecting. Oops, let's destroy here. And then this is the ankle joint. All of this is just move it up. Because mine doesn't have a head, but like the head bone should just be positioned like a little bit, like the top part a little bit below the top of the head. Actually it's enable wireframe so I can see it. Just gonna select all of this, move it down. Okay, so now go into the side view. It's a little hard to see with the T pose, with the arms. But it's actually easier to see in the top view. So, okay, so here we just move the, okay. And then might just have to toggle between the different modes in order to see thing. So this is the collarbone. It looks good for now. Okay, you can see, yeah, okay, the neck bone right now is overlapping with the this bone, so we wanna move it down. Okay, see if it causes me an error later. Might have to adjust this one. Okay. Okay, so this is the hip bone. I'm gonna move it down to be where the hip is. Knee bone, a little bit more in front. Okay. Foot bone. Just move this one here. This is like the heels, so just position it up. Yeah, with the symmetry enabled, it really makes things a lot easier. What is this? It's probably from the eye. Okay, so looks it's about right. I might just hold this. Okay. Collarbone. Pull that in a little bit more. Okay, so it's be fairly straightforward. Okay, so say that you're happy with the rig. So now just hit tab to exit to go back into object mode. And then again in this Rigify tab, go down and then say generate rig. I think it gave me an error. Hold on. Oh, okay, so it's telling me bone spine 004 cannot connect chain. Position is disjoint. Okay, so I think that's the neck bone thing. We were, oops. So let's go back. And the way that we can search for that is just go in here and type in 004. Okay, so now it's like this one, basically. That's the part that's generating the error. So that up. Hopefully that fixes it. Let's see. Huh. Okay, so load. Three, this is number 3. Number 4 is this one. Okay. Hmm. Bone cannot connect chain. Bone position is disjoint. Let me Google that real quick. Root. So apparently if you move this bone, the error appears. Okay, so they have to be perfectly aligned. Okay, so I'm supposed to select number 3, then number 4. Oh, so they have to be snapped together. That's why. Because I guess I was moving it. Okay, go into, yeah, okay. So basically, add selection to cursor, cursor to selected. Okay, hold on. Shift S. Okay, so I have to select this one, Shift S, cursor to selected. All right, okay. And then select this bone, then Shift S, add selection to cursor. Okay, so that's how we snap it. Okay, hopefully this fixes it. No. There we go. Okay. Okay, yeah. So yeah, with these bones, it's like some of the, as you work on it, you'll start to like learn some of the restraints. And it's good to learn to troubleshoot error messages because they come up all the time. Anyways, okay, so now you have the this is the new rig, basically. And it has the controls. So what you see here are the controls. And now we have to attach it. Because now like you have it, but it doesn't work. You have to attach it to the body mesh and deform it. So okay, basically we're going to first, so now we have 2 rigs, like the meta rig. We're gonna hide this one. So this is the original rig that we built. Go to this rig, and this Blender, the new version of Blender has sort of like changed the layouts. So now you have to go to here, go to the bone collections, and this is kind of annoying. You have to basically just deselect all of this so that they're not in the way. And you're gonna click on the deformation. Shit. Oh, I should have been in pose mode. Okay. Why it's not showing up? Maybe I don't know. Then pose mode for this. Oh, I don't know why the deformation bone is not showing. Because it should. Hmm. Okay, so let's see. I might redo this. Okay, so now make sure we're in. Sure, it's pose mode, but is it edit mode? Very weird. You're supposed to see like the deformation bones are, it's like green. We deselect all of this. Anything else showing up? Hmm. Um, Very weird. I literally just had it working. Um, oh, okay, that was really stupid because I guess I just couldn't see them. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, so they're here. Just I guess I should have had, I guess if I turn the body back on. Okay, yeah. Now I can actually see them. Yes, okay. So basically, what I was doing, I just couldn't see these bones because they were behind the mesh and I should have turned wireframe on. But basically, yes. So these are the bones that you want to have made visible so that we can um basically use it to deform the base mesh. So now like just click out of that. And so now you want to, so select the base mesh and then select the rig. So I just did control select in the menu. And then so we have a keyboard shortcut control P. So basically it's just setting a parent and setting parent to like something in Blender is basically using the one that is parenting to control the one that is being parented. So you want to go to basically armature deform with automatic weights. So okay, now it looks like it did it. And now we're gonna hide the so go back into pose mode, hide the deformation bones, and just bring up everything else. So these are the controllers for the different joints of the body. Root. We don't need these. Okay, yeah. So yeah, now you have there you go, it should work. Okay, so it does work. And now's the fun part. You can just like really get to play around with the different controls. Um, okay, let me go back to, yeah, see wireframe is better so you can see everything. Um, the hip joints, really fun always. So you can just so the same thing, like you can toggle between G, like so move, like you can translate it, the controls, this is G, and you can also rotate it. Foot control, it up, rotate it. If you're not happy with something, you can just go to pose, clear transform. So say I didn't like the rotation. Let's do that. You can clear the transformations. So yeah, there's like a lot that you can do. Something to note is, so basically there's a, like in animation, there's something called the FK versus IK for like controls. So basically we think of like the limb, if you're controlling the limb from the shoulders, then it's called FK. So it's called forward kinematics. It's not really all that important. I'm just saying this to kind of explain the way the controls work. So IK, on the other hand, is if you're controlling the limb from the hand or the feet. Yeah, so like say that you're animating like a walk cycle, it's like a character is walking, then like the controls will be set to FK because basically you're swinging your arms, right? But if you are, say, having the character pick up a cup or something, so that would be the other one because you're controlling it from the hand. So basically you can see like just with the red control, like the red control, they're red to signify that they are IK, right? And you can see that in the main properties panel here. So now like basically now you're controlling it from the hand, right? But if we slide this, oh yeah. So now like if you try to manipulate the green ones, they're not gonna work, right? Because the green ones, so these are FK joints. So and this is how you can toggle this. So basically if you toggle this from IK to FK, see how it just reverted back to where the green controls are. So now you can manipulate it. So basically with this you can just control it from the top. Yeah, you slide it back, it's gonna revert back to the IK. So this is FK, this is IK. So yeah, I mean the next time I can talk about how to parent things. Like, yeah, I think maybe for our purposes isn't really not that important because we're just rendering like a still. And say like, because sometimes it's like you have other things, right? Sometimes like if you're animating the body, posing it, and you want the eye, so you want the eyeball, for example, to follow the movement of the body. And say if you have hair, other accessories, clothing, you want it to parent it to the skeleton, right? The rig, so that when the character is moving, it makes sense. But I think for us, we're just gonna pose the character to a static pose. Maybe it's okay. But yeah, like if you have time, rigging is really fun, and yeah, you can just like play around with these controls. Um, yeah. Does anyone have any questions?
Great. Let me